Office of the Governor in the position of Office Assistant 1. My main job is to sort and scan all the mail that comes to the governor's office. Through this job, I have gotten to do a lot of real cool things. For instance, I have raised the 12-man flag at the Capitol. I held the MLS Cup when the Sounders won the championship, and I even got to be on stage with Governor Inslee when he opened the Special Olympic Games in Seattle. But I have not always worked at the governor's office. From my high school years until 2013, I worked a few different jobs and had employment supports most of that time. Those jobs helped me to build the skills I needed to qualify for my job at the governor's office. Thanks to the strong supports I received from Morningside, I got my current job and I'm successful at it. My job coach supports me once a week and whenever else I need them. Being able to work makes me feel empowered and like I can do many different things. I am able to go shopping and pay my bills and even pamper myself sometimes. During COVID, I couldn't work remotely because my job duties have to be done on site. Most of my coworkers work remotely at least part of that time, but I have been in the office 4 days a week throughout the pandemic. My job coach had to support me remotely for a while, but we got permission for her to see me in person again. Having to stay home and not work would have been boring and depressing. I am so happy that I got to keep working. Funding for employment services is vital for people with disabilities. People who work pay taxes and pay their own bills. They're more independent and don't need as many other financial supports. If funding for employment services get cut, people could lose their jobs or not get jobs at all. This will be detrimental to people who need those supports in order to work. Without a paycheck, they may not be able to support themselves and would need other public supports to survive. In 2019 alone, people in Washington that live with disabilities earned over $61 million. They pay taxes and didn't need so much public support. In 2020, over 30% of people who get employment support through the DDA continue working during the COVID restrictions and were definitely essential workers. Another important issue that affects employment and independence is transportation. I rode the public bus to and from work before COVID. It wasn't perfect and I didn't always feel the safest. Buses in Olympia stopped service during COVID. They are now back to a limited schedule that doesn't work for my job. I had to rely on my family for rides and just recently began getting rides from coastal transportation for part of my transportation needs. But in normal times, people with disabilities need access to safe and accessible transportation at all times of the day and night. We need this to live independently, whether we live in rural, suburban, or urban area. Funding for transportation needs to be used to provide this crucial element for people who need it. My message today is simple. Supportive employment is vital service for people and for our state. Budgets for supportive employment should not be cut. Medicaid eligibility should not be changed to make it harder for people to get the services they need.